Good morning, traders. So, how do we trade the Dow Jones today? So, we wake up to the news that Trump is going to war again with China, and obviously the markets retaliate. The interesting fact is how these politicians make these announcements after the market closes. So, that first gives them the opportunity to load their trades in, and then they make the announcements where they can benefit from those trades. So there's so much money that gets made on these shorts. But anyway, let's just ignore the noise for now and let's focus on what we see. So we have got a gap down at this stage, and we did find some support on the 40 moving average, the daily 40 moving average. So I would suspect, and I think before we get into any conspiracy theories from me, I want to highlight the weekly level that we had here. So you can see this was a pretty strong weekly level that we turned on. Okay, I can probably just, well, let's just leave it like that. So it's pretty much the open, it's just short of this tail. You can see high point, low point, and now we've got a retest of this level. So this is a pretty strong level. Okay, we've still had a 20 and a 5 moving average crossover on the weekly, indicating that this chaos is coming to an end. So we just needed to start pointing up. So at this stage, we've still got price diversions here with the moving averages. But anyway, looking at the daily, we can see that level there. And, I was long targeting this gap close, which again is a big mistake on my part, because the gap is always the last thing that closes. And we had a big weekly level in between that. Okay, so I keep doing it, but one day I'll remember that gaps are not the be-all and end-all of everything. So what do we have at the moment? So let's just get down to 4 hour. We can just see what happened. So firstly, you can see how the oscillator grouped to the top, and we didn't really have any diversions here, but you could see how we were stepping away from the Bollinger Band on the 4 hour, which gave you the warning. You had this big stretch, and then you had this inside bar. Okay, so there's a hanging man, which is a reversal pattern, and it's a Bollinger W. Now, the Bollinger W has more than likely played out already, pretty much. So that was the target. The nearest most logical target would have been there, which is 24611. Okay, because that's the previous breakout, and we haven't tagged this level. So, and you can see the 200 moving average also lines up with this. So I'm just going to move this down to this breakout, and that's going to give us a target of 24600. So that's where I suspect is our first area of potential support for this move. Okay, so whatever upward move we get, I would suspect we have another attempt to get down below here. Okay, now just bear in mind, as what happened with the Dow last year with the Korean missiles being fired, you have this quick sell-off, and then immediately the buyers step in and they ignore it, and they push the price back up. So just be careful, be very careful with this thing. We've got earnings season starting, and all indications are that the earnings season is going to be a strong one again. Okay, so we're going to need to get down to the hour to see what we need. So it was getting a bit tired. You did have the diversions here. So we've had this pullback. We've broken below. We've had a crossover, broken below the 40 moving average, and now what we're looking for is at least a continuation to come and test this area. Okay, and you can see I can adjust this even further to that inside tail. So what we need to do here is just have two levels there. So that's the first zone that we need to focus on. If price gets into this, I'll be looking for a long. Okay, it may only be a short long, but remember, for me, 4 hour, if we are above this 20 moving average, I am long. Okay, so I haven't got a 20 and a 5 crossover yet on the 4 hour. So for me, the trend is still up. Even though we've had this fall, it doesn't necessarily mean this is a turn. Okay, you can see how they fight to keep the price up at that level. So I would want to, until we get this kind of crossover here. Okay, so for now, I'm still looking for entries long, but we may have the opportunity to get some short scalps in. So whatever short I do get in, if I do get short, it's going to be looking for these levels. Okay, so that's the first area. And then you can see there's another area here which will be pretty interesting. That's the next breakout. And that is 24,516. Okay, I'm not even going to talk about this gap because you just frustrate yourself when you've chased those things. The next level would be this breakout here. Okay, and that is 24427. Okay, so what am I looking for? So for me, the most logical one, and I delete this one, is in this area here. This is kind of the area where I suspect we will find support. Find support and then a move back to the upside. Okay, and I may be wrong, completely wrong, and it may just turn where it is now and just continue moving back to the upside. Anything's possible with this thing. So the closing range breakout was pretty much null and void yesterday. It was a very small range, and I'm going to have to zoom in for us to see this. That's how small the range was. Okay, there's the last 2 hours of trading the day before. We gapped up straight to pretty much above the breakout target, and then target 2 and target 3 were hit. We pulled back to the 32, and then target 4 was hit. Okay, so the trade was long yesterday, as I said. Any pullback you want to buy into, there was a pullback, you bought into that. And if you just used your closing breakout strategy as the levels you needed to target, that's where you would be. Okay, and here's a great example of why you don't want to hold positions while Trump is playing with Twitter. Okay, because this kind of stuff would have hurt you if you were in there. Because it would have gapped down below your stops. Anyway, so today we have, looks like almost the same. Let's just do that. Looks like, yeah, the range is pretty close to the same height as what it was there. And we're already below target 4. Yeah, so this is going to be a null and void scenario to trade. Okie dokie, so let's just delete that. So I think for me really is going to be about waiting to see what happens here. Everything depends on how Europe takes the news. If we look at the futures market, well, look at the Asian market. Asian market is down pretty much 1%, 1.5%. Yeah, so they are down. Bond market is slightly up, not dramatically up, 0.13% up at the moment. So, this could just be a flash in the pan, to be honest. If my view is if the market has been rising with the trade war fears there, and this is rising in anticipation of results. So earnings season's coming out, and this is what's happening. So it's rising in anticipation of the earnings season. So this could just be a flash in the pan. I haven't read the actual article on what the tariffs are, but could very much be a flash in the pan. And this 4-hour bar with the buyer stepping on the bottom here could very well indicate that. But for me, I'd like to see a second signal. Okay, so sorry, I just want to get down to 12 minutes and we'll have a look at this. So what you're looking for, you can already see we're hovering on the 12-minute 200 EMA. So I'd like to see one of these levels tagged, and that would give me an opportunity to get long again and see what happens. If we failed to get over this 200 moving average, specifically on the 12-minute, then the move is over. Look for something different. But for now, we've got 200 moving average here, we've got some support here, we've got a big zone where I'd like to see us tag. But whether we do it or not is another story. So that's a good 200 points down. So I'm looking for this 24,500 area, between 24,600 and 24,500, for us to find some level of support for a move back to the upside. Okay. So I think nothing to get into at the moment. So for me, I'm going to sit, wait, watch. Because what could actually happen is this thing could just start going sideways, Bollinger Squeeze happen until more news comes out, or until people can read through what the tariffs would be, or waiting to hear what China's response is. Yeah, there's a lot of geopolitical noise that's probably going to happen in the morning. So I think I'll just keep my money in my pocket on this one for the short term. If we do get to the bottom here, I will look for longs. But also looking for shorts. I suppose the way to do this is as follows. If we do break below this fractional level, which is, if you do break below 247.38, or 247, just say 247.35, then you do have a potential for a short to come and test these levels, and your stop is going to be above here, which is pretty much going to be a 55-point stop loss. Okay, so that's kind of the short that I see at the moment, but it'll be a scalp more than anything else. And then what we want to do is we want to see what happens to price down from the 24,600 to 24,500 area. Anyway, guys, that's the DOW for me today. I hope it helps. Stay safe, keep those stops tight, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Cheers, man.